What's up, everybody? You are watching, you are listening to the Matt Manners Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host for tonight, Ayla Aaron Loy. I'm joined by Eck of a New Nation, Active Flyer, Trim Bicky. How you doing, babe?
Hey, what up? This is my little shout out to Donnie Doe, who I hate.
Did you close the deal?
No, he's a mook. He's a mook.
As always, subscribe on all podcast platforms and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thumbs up, turn your post notifications, and leave a comment. Thank you for all the new subscribers for joining. We highly appreciate it. So, they've been here in a few weeks as well. Not much is going on, I don't think, in my opinion. Me personally, I haven't watched much. I watched a few things. One was wrestler related. Only other thing was kind of wrestling related. So I'll let you go first. Did you watch anything other than what we covering for the most part?
I don't really think so. Last time we did, I think we both watched it. At that point, I did watch the YouTube behind the scenes WrestleMania thing. We discussed that.
Oh, we talked about that. We did.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think nothing out of the ordinary at all, except what we're going to discuss.
Okay, so last time we were here, I forgot to mention that I did watch. As a homeowner, I'm an avid HGTV watcher, so I did watch Mojo on House Hunters. It actually came on. Mojo Rawley on House Hunters. It actually did come on.
And you made time to watch that.
I watch House Hunters all the time. So it did come on. It was interesting. You couldn't pick a different woman for him. Like when I say opposites attract, that's like 100% because he's like a partier and she's all spiritual and stuff. So I was like, I was really shocked. Wow, like because he wanted this one house, because it was like a bigger house, and she was like, oh no, this reminds me of like your party days, and that's over, and things like that. So I did watch that. Also, I did watch the guy who could sell me anything, Maven. He was on the Undertaker's podcast. I keep forgetting Undertaker has a podcast because it's the craziest thing in the world to me. So I did watch that episode with Maven on 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. I did enjoy it. They did talk about
what has Maven sold you?
What was that? I said he could sell me on anything. Charm. Oh, okay. The charm. So like I did watch that. It was great. They went over the 2002 Royal Rumble spot and the experience Maven had with that, and Maven allergic to aspirin, so Taker gave him some whiskey and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good episode because that's Maven talks about all the time, and we talk about it, how much of a moment that's always going to be remembered is Maven eliminating the Undertaker from the Royal Rumble. And I think that was his first match, maybe, in the company. Well, not first match, but first big match appearance in the company. So I did watch that. That was pretty much it for like weekly stuff, other than the weekly stuff that I actually did watch. Now I know one thing that you wanted to talk about, and one of them is pretty much official now. Bobby Lashley and MVP contracts not being renewed. I know these two guys were important to you.
I think there's others, but these are the only two I really care about of it.
Well, these are pretty much the names that were reported that I've seen, and
I think
these are the
there
biggest names.
There was at least a third name. There was a third name, but I don't think it was somebody. It was a low card guy.
Okay, so like I said, the bigger names that contracts are running up that aren't going to be renewed. MVP showed up in Bloodsport, I believe, recently. So we know, and he said that he is not renewing his contract, and we haven't heard anything from Bobby Lashley or seen anything. So I know this was important to you. So I'll let you take this one first.
So I don't think, and again, we haven't been on for a couple of weeks, but I don't think we brought it up. But I'll backtrack real quick. Did you see like the shade MVP threw at Hunter in his comments replying to fans, amongst other people like Batista and other people that were commenting on a post he put up like a month ago?
About how the bloodline was essentially the Hurt Business.
That was one thing. It said how like they stole the gimmick. He was talking about, there was comments about like, money left on the table, need to bring it back. He's commenting saying we tried, basically essentially saying this was Triple H stopping it from coming back. And in several comments, like saying like it was, we've talked to Hunter about it. This isn't Vince's doing, blah, 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 blah. Definitely threw a lot of shade at Triple H, homage at Paul. about this. So I don't know how in depth you read the comments. I think I spent a little too much time one day when it was a hot topic because at first I really didn't like the taste of it at that point. I'm like, damn, you work there? You really going at your boss? That's not really going to look good for a push. That's not going to look good for you guys ever getting back together. That's not going to look good for Omos. Yeah, I'm not thinking it would have affected Lashley and the profits, but fast forward several weeks later, now it looks like, profits are doing stuff. Lashley's not around. Lashley and him, walking away from the company. Seems like there's, a lot more to this. And MVP's kind of essentially made it known, kind of hinted at, he's going to speak on this kind of when his contract is up.
Okay, so will you finish?
I'm finished on that topic, or on at least like that previous post, just to see if you had any thoughts on that.
No, I don't really have anything. I did see that he was talking about how the bloodline was basically their idea and her business was broken up way too early. And I didn't see the part where he said it was a Hunter thing, not a Vince thing. I did not see that. Mm-hmm. But as far my thoughts on the whole thing,
or at least also, I'm not saying just about him being broken up, more or less like saying like we pitched to be reassembled, put back together, and Hunter's been the one putting it back. Like, hey, Serrano's course is done. It ain't coming back.
Well, okay, so I'm kind of in the middle with that because I can see his point, because how many times have we seen stables brought back together and wasn't even it was way less memorable than it was the first time. I think we talked about this for weeks on the show at a time, that they call lightning in a bottle when the original Hurt Business. That's something that I'm not sure if it could be replicated again, because how many times did DX come back? How many times did the Shield come back? Never quite hit the same. Now, as far as their contracts not being renewed, that just seems to be a Triple H thing. And he's handling this the way sports teams do, specifically like the NFL. Like we had Edge contract come up, and in sports, it's like, okay, you're getting older. We can give you this deal. You can agree to these terms, but this is it, because you have to make way for the newer talent. So for sports references, we see this, like I'll use the example for the Eagles. The Eagles, they do a really good job at not letting their emotions get in the way of the business. So they've let their veterans walk. They've let Deuce Staley walk, Troy Vincent, Brian Dawkins, for example. Those are guys off the top of my head that have gone off to other places at a certain age, because they not get their emotions invested into their business decisions. Now, Bobby Lashley, we love Bobby Lashley, but he, at this point, I think we could agree that his peaked a long time ago, and anything else is probably not going to be his peak. And with the whole MVP thing, we kind of saw the writing on the wall when Vince was gone, because we know that whole pairing with Omos was a Vince thing. Vince likes those big, tall attractions, and MVP was paired with Omos. And then even like the match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, Vince was still around. Well, that's when Vince got himself back into the company. And even like Rhonda said, yeah, like, don't believe that. Like, Vince was there. He, like, Bruce Pritchard was his puppet for the most part. So we always knew like Omos was a Vince thing. So when Vince was completely gone, you barely saw Omos on TV, and him and MVP were the pairing. Yeah. And him and MVP were the pairing. So, like I said, they handle Edge pretty much the same way. It's like, look, if you want to stay, this is what we could do. This is what we could offer for you. But this is it. We have to move on and possibly make waves for the next crop of superstars. So, as far as them leaving, well, Lashley potentially even an MVP leaving, those are my thoughts on it.
So I see all three of these. Like, again, I'm not saying Edge was that third person, but in the scenario of Edge, MVP, Lashley, I think of all of them as very different. I think Lashley and MVP, obviously their careers, simultaneous, whether it be late Ruthless Aggression, they did stuff in Indies, TNA together, come back, get paired together, start the Hurt Business, split up, feud, etc., etc., etc. Maybe I misread it. I was under the impression it wasn't necessarily them re-signing. Their contracts getting renewed. I thought they don't want to re-sign. Now, again, go ahead.
The way I interpreted it was the way like Edge and Ricochet. I'm not. Well, Ricochet is a little different. Ricochet chose not to re-sign. But
Yeah.
I viewed it
And
as like the
Edge
contract's
too.
not being. Well, Edge got a
Edge too.
contract offer, but like
Yeah.
I said, it's like they can offer you a contract, but in that contract, they're saying you this is the role, this is what we're offering you, and this is what it'll be. Now the money might not be right, the position might not be right, but that's the contract and that is the offer. So who knows? There might have been a contract offer in them, but they're just choosing not. WWE might not. There might be a contract offer, there might not be. But WWE moving on, I'm not 100% mad about it because they're kind of making ways for the new crowd. Because we come on the show all the time talking about some, oh, you gotta get all these guys on TV. It's pretty much impossible. Triple H does a way better job than integrating people than Vince ever did, but you just can't get everybody on TV at this point. And at the same time, Bobby Lashley is like almost 50.
All right, so the one, and again, I'm always bad with remembering everyone's age, but he might be 50. He don't look it. I don't know how old Sheamus is, but Sheamus's peak. You want to talk about Lashley's peak being gone? Again, I love Sheamus. I'm not trying to pick on this, but his peak has been long gone.
Absolutely,
you could say his peak was long gone. He had a spark for a cup of coffee, like a cup of coffee that wasn't even finished. 2015, 2016, when he had that last world title reign. I'd say Bobby Lashley's peak was the Hurt Business and his babyface runs after as singles champion. Because the reason I even wanted to discuss it is you can't deny how over that guy was. I mean, the way the crowd was reacting to him, and even when they tried presenting him as a heel post Hurt Business when MVP was still with them, it didn't matter. The crowd was still going nuts for him. If they wanted him and the Profits to be heels, didn't matter. If Lashley came out, the crowd was going to cheer for him no matter what. That's why, to me, like, Edge not re-signing, not really a surprise. Like, he was working limited dates. We knew he wanted to work more. He's never worked elsewhere. So, to me, makes 100% sense. MVP, I don't want to say injury prone, but, like, he came back for a one-off. He's had this, run. He's a manager. Not re-signing him, not a huge surprise. Lashley not getting re-signed or him not re-signing, both directions, surprising to me. Now, again, like you're saying, you're making a good point. They probably offered him something. Maybe it just didn't jive for him, but he's already gone elsewhere. He's already did MMA. He's, went other places. So to me, I'm just like, if he's leaving, there ain't no coming back. There ain't no farewell tour in WWE for him. Maybe he'll come back and get, the Hall of Fame accolade at some point. But definitely surprised that we're here SummerSlam weekend and we're talking about how after SummerSlam, his contract will probably be expired and will probably no longer be with WWE. And that's just, to me, it's just surprising. It's not just surprising, it's disappointing. I definitely over the past, 3 to 4 years became a big fan of him. When he came back, I mean, we, with Ron on the show, we used to always crap on him and his push and everything. But, come COVID era, when him and Lashley got together, they call it lightning in a bottle. They had something good. Definitely surprised about it. It's a huge fumble in my eyes for the company. With all that being said, because we got a lot of other things to talk about, I do just want to see your thoughts on, there is the rumor that there's, the chance that if, him and MVP were to reunite outside of the Federation, Shelton Benjamin's a free agent. The original Hurt Business was the three of them. WWE owns the right to them. Would you like to see those three link up outside of New York?
If that means AEW, no, because I don't think they'll be handled right in AEW. But can I see them popping up in other places? Sure.
Interesting. So that's it's an interesting take. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, yeah, can we see them as a trios champions in AEW? Yeah, I mean, that's not really being handled right, I guess. I kind of almost like them be a faction, like Benjamin and MVP as a tag champ and Lashley with singles gold or a world title. I just don't like the idea of like them going back to Impact because I like the idea of AEW with, wherever their ratings are right now. It's the next best big exposure. Like, I feel like if they're not going to go back to WWE or if they're not with WWE, you got to go to the next best thing, in my opinion. But yeah, interesting. I'm glad I got to vent and get your thoughts on that.
Oh, also something I did watch. I did watch Cody Raheem Rhodes go sneaker shopping. You damn right he bought his daughter in white Travis Scott's.
Yeah, I need that Kobe.
And Louis Vuittons.
I need that Kobe. Louis forces. Yeah, and you need some forces.
Spending $10,000. That's what Cody Raheem Rhodes does. So going into SummerSlam, we got SummerSlam this weekend. We'll start with Cody Raheem Rhodes defending his undisputed championship against Solo Sikoa. Now, there's something kind of looming over this match, and that's pretty much the potential return of Roman Reigns. So give me your prediction, and do you think we see Roman Reigns?
So the fact that we're going 4 years in a row, big returns at SummerSlam, and 4 years ago it was Roman Reigns. I would, or was it before? It was SummerSlam when he won the title. Okay. Yeah. I could see him coming back. I could see it. I'm really honestly not expecting it, but I will be real honest. Like me and you were talking a couple days ago when we were previewing the show. I'm behind on SmackDown, so I'm not really banking on it. If it happens, I think it's going to be great. Also, with that being said, and we'll get to it probably in the next 20 minutes or so, I haven't been this excited for SummerSlam in I don't know how long.
Really?
Yeah. We can circle back to that, but after we preview the card. But I'm very excited. I'm not if Roman doesn't show up, I think this card is still going to deliver and or over deliver. So I think we'll be fine whether he returns or not. If he does, we might be if we ever review the show. I think we're going to be talking showstopper worthy, but we'll get to that. Oh, my prediction: my cousin Craig Martin, Cody Rhodes, he's retaining the title.
Yeah. So basically, Cody was on the Japan tour on last episode of SmackDown, so he wasn't on there. So he did say he basically ended up going it alone because Owens and Orton were pretty much taken out by the Bloodline a couple weeks back. And the Bloodline, they have a tag title match this Friday on SmackDown, so it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, that's not on SummerSlam. That's on SmackDown.
It's not. It's on SmackDown. So I do think DIY is going to retain. I think there'll be a bunch of shenanigans in that match. And as far as the whole Roman Reigns thing, I do think we see Roman Reigns. The interesting thing is, who does he interact with? Because Solo's basically calling Roman Reigns out. Cody hasn't even seen Roman Reigns since. So so basically he has animosity between both guys. But I'm pretty sure this is where we get the build to possibly War Games and Roman having to have to build out the original bloodline against the new blood. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But definitely a lot of intrigue, and also The Rock lingering around in this. At some point, is going to pop back up before Royal Rumble season. I think maybe even leading into the Survivor Series. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going with Cody Raheem Rhodes to retain against Solo Sikoa. Next, we have the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest is defending against Gunther, and I kind of want to lump this in with. No, I'll give that his own segment. But Damian Priest is going to defend his world title against Gunther. I think they've done a really good job with this. I think Gunther, he was already made in May. So I talked about Triple H, how he always does a great job. Gunther didn't have to be on TV hardly because he's one king of the ring. His spot's already cemented, and they did an amazing job of somewhat turning Priest into a babyface throughout his own problems with his own stable. He's trying to be cool to Dom. He's trying to keep his stable in line. He's dealing with things honorably. So they've done a good job of trying to turn him babyface in the situation without even having limited interaction with Gunther. And I really do like that. And I think I don't think there's any shenanigans in this match. I think the shenanigans happened in the Rhea Liv match. And I think Gunther is going to win the world title here. It's well deserved. I love the way he was booked. He dropped the IC title after 2 years. Won King of the Ring immediately to get revalidated. And like I said, he hardly had to wrestle. He wasn't overexposed leading up to now. And I think this is the perfect spot for him. Gunther will leave the world champion. Thoughts?
Man, I'll tell you what. I you'd have asked me a month ago, I would easily said, yeah, Gunther's gonna take the title. There's the farewell home show for Raw. It would make you think also there's a chance Damian was standing tall. Yeah, Gunther's probably gonna win. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the match. And sentimentally, I really want Damian to win. I could see him winning. I feel like it would also make him look way stronger, and it ain't going to hurt Gunther at all. I won't be surprised if Gunther wins. I'm calling it. Damian retains, and that's my want. That's my hope. That's my prediction.
All right, next we have the women's world title on the line. It's going to be Rhea Ripley.
This is what you're going to lump together?
I was, but I want to give this its own segment because this is kind of this got a lot of new layers to this, because we've been talking about the implosion of the Judgment Day for almost a year now at this point, and they keep adding so many things to this. So 2 weeks ago on Raw, Dom told Liv off finally. Only because Rhea's flirting with Jey Uso, which is amazing, by the way. Rhea's flirting with Jey Uso. Dom tells Liv off, even after she shows the cheeks. He tells her off. She leaves crying, burns her Dom stuff on Raw Monday night in a barrel.
Dom really looking like me out this mug.
Really Eddie's kid out there. So also Finn Balor has been caught a couple times doing some quick, small, tiny things. He was trying to instigate the Jey Uso situation. He grabbed the Liv's hotel card, and a few months back he was seen getting out of a car with Liv. And he seems to be even with Priest, kind of instigating things. So they've gotten to the point in this story where it's is Dom behind? Is Dom going to join Liv, or are Finn and Liv going to be a thing? And is that going to be the new version of the Judgment Day? Because Rhea has not been a fan of Carlito in the Judgment Day. She has not. Last week she kind of warmed up to it, but the week when she first came back, she was like, "Why is he here?" So there's a lot of layers to this situation.
She was
so
still
I want to know what you
think
think is going to happen.
Too.
Okay, so I want to know.
It's so good, I can't call it. My biggest thing is, it would be so freaking weird. We talked about, when groups come back or reform or blah, 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 blah. But if the Judgment Day is Finn, JD, Dom, and if you're saying Carlito too, with Liv, all the originals are gone. Edge is gone. It was Edge and Damian. Then it was Edge, Damian, and Rhea, and they're all gone. Or I could almost see Dom staying with them, and then there's so much going on. I could see it going any way and every way, and that's why it's so good and arguably the greatest thing in wrestling.
Yeah, and also Rhea and Damian, they've been buddy this entire time. Damian was the one checking in on Rhea, talking to Rhea when Dom wasn't. So that's another way. It's okay, is Dom going to turn on Rhea? And is it going to be the new version of the Judgment Day with Damian and Rhea out? But okay, is Finn Balor the facto leader now of this version of the Judgment Day? And does that include Dom being Liv's daddy? So it's a lot going on, and I love it. So give me your predictions.
Man, outside of the match, I can't call it. There's going to be some drama, and I see Liv retaining.
Yeah, I think Liv's. Go ahead.
What was it? Rhea was undefeated in singles matches for a year, 2 years. And the last person to beat her was Liv. And I think it was from their tag team feud.
Probably.
So it would be a strong win for Liv. Again, I'll keep going back to it. Like I said about Gunther, it won't hurt Gunther. This won't hurt Rhea.
Because I
can see it going anyway. And again, we'll get to it when we're done the card. It's another reason why I'm We're very excited about this show. I'm very much looking forward to the card. A lot of these matches are unpredictable, and damn near everyone is fun.
All right, now I'm not sure if this is the match you're looking forward to the most. We got Drew McIntyre.
Why aren't you saving this for the end?
And CM Punk with Seth Rollins, the referee.
You bringing this up next? What are you bringing up for last?
The last are just the quick hits for the most part.
I know. It's going to be quickies. You go first.
So, like I said, after Money in the Bank, they did a great job kind of blending everything together. I really do think they did an amazing job with that. So
they've been doing an amazing job the whole year.
They have. Yeah. Everything is coming together very nicely. I've enjoyed this entire thing. Drew McIntyre has been on fire this entire time.
Greatest Twitter user pro wrestling wise of all time.
Him finding taking a picture with Jack Perry.
He's out of fucking control. Fucking control.
His trolling has been on another level during this entire time. So I've enjoyed Drew McIntyre. And the fact is, like, who would have thought this feud would have been so good with one guy being hurt, which is really interesting to me. So Seth Rollins is going to come out. He's going to come out fashionably. I do think he's going to have the Shawn Michaels banana shorts on. Shawn Michaels' little shorts where he's smuggling bananas. Because you're right. You already know he likes to pay homage. So SummerSlam 97, he had those little shorts.
I thought that, but with him coming out what he wore on Raw, I assume that's what he's going to wear. Oh, could be wrong. He should rip it off.
Not fashion. As a style person, you can't wear the same. You can't wear an outfit on TV more than twice. You just can't. We saw that already. You need something new. So I do believe
thinking too much about sneaker shopping.
I do believe that's always my motto. You will never see me in a pic with the same outfit on twice. So that's going to happen. He's going to wear the Shawn Michaels little shorts. I just know it. And like I said, I talked about this happened at WrestleMania with Punk being the referee, but now the sides have been swapped. So I do think Rollins is going to cost Punk the match, and McIntyre wins, and that fuel the Rollins Punk feud.
Brett. Punk is Brett. Seth's going to screw Drew by accident. They're just going to redo the 97 SummerSlam match. It's going to be a Punk classic. That's what Punk does. He redoes matches. So this is going to redo. Everyone's going to play their part.
Punk showed up on First Take. Take this with a grain of salt, but he was on First Take and he said, "Look, after this, I'm done with Drew."
With your idol?
No, he wasn't there that day. So he said that after this, I'm done with Drew. So, like I said, I think Rollins gets his look back. Rollins gets his look back on Punk, and that draws him to face Rollins, and that adds fuel to their rivalry. So I think that's what's going to happen. So my pick is Drew, and Rollins even said on Raw, like, "Look, I'm gonna count when I want. I can count to 100. I can count to 1,000,000 if I want. I can count to 3. I can count to 5. I can do whatever. It doesn't matter. It's my show. You're gonna listen to me." So I think McIntyre wins. Thoughts, in your opinion?
I'm going against you. I'm like I said, it's going to do. They're going to redo the Taker Brett spot. Seth's going to screw Drew by accident, and Punk's going to be on top of him, and he's going to have to count the fall. It's going to be an homage.
All right, so
especially with Paul directing, he's Mr. Homage himself. Then you're over here saying Seth's going to be dressed like Shawn. It all makes sense. Punk tries to wrestle like him. Punk tries to wrestle like Brett. He's already mimicked 2 to 3 of his matches, top to finish. It's going to happen again.
Yeah, so
and when I'm right, you owe me a hamburger and French fries.
I got you. Never said from where. But different opinions. But we'll go next to the women's championship match. We got Queen Nia Jax taking on All Natural Bayley.
No,
that ain't no BBL, baby. So
that ain't no Queen.
Thoughts and opinions.
I'm always rooting for that dumb. I'm sorry. I'm always rooting for naturals. So shout out to Bayley. Bayley's winning. You know she got my heart.
Really? prep. I just had to get my haircut a few days earlier, 2 weeks ago. It gets cut off tomorrow.
Prep, you never asked for this hat. I also got a dead stock one with the red under brim. Didn't you come to the strip club with us after we got these hats?
Yikes. So I'm gonna go with Nia here. I think Bailey has just been kind of like floating through this entire thing, and it's not her fault. It's the booking. This has nothing to do with Bailey. Anything Bailey did wrong. This is nothing but booking. So I do think Nia Jax wins, and I think Nia's been really good since she came back, and she could show a lot of more personality now that Triple H is actually in charge. Because like we see her on social media, she's really funny, and even on TV, it's translating to her character work. It's been really good, and something that's intriguing with this is her friendship with Tiffany. And I don't think Tiffany's cashing in. No, I don't think she's cashing in. You can get so many legs. You can get so many legs with this because.
But they don't do that in the women's division ever.
Triple H will. If Vince was in charge, no. But Triple H will, because we talked about like Tiffany's briefcase got destroyed, so we know she's going to get her nice little pink briefcase. Probably even says Tiffy in the bank. So we know we're going to get that. So she has to kind of get some legs out of that situation. And there's actually a lot of story you could tell with those two being a team, and Tiffany kind of just dragging along with Nia Jax the entire time. And it could always be a thought in the back of her mind: are you going to cash in on me? And I think they've done a great job of that. Even when she teased it on an episode of SmackDown, and Nia kind of just looked at her. But I don't think Tiffany's cashing in on Saturday. I do think Nia Jax is going to win. I think we're going to get a lot of legs out of this.
I can see it going that way. I'd like it to go that way. It'd make the most sense. I need Tiffany's custom briefcase. We'll reference briefcases again, custom ones at the end of the show.
All right, and then we have the U.S. titles on the line. LA Knight challenging Logan Paul. Who are you going with in thoughts?
Outside of the SmackDown Women's title, arguably the weakest story build, I hope LA Knight wins. It's going to be the feel-good moment. Everybody's been waiting to see him have a strap for quite some time. Freaking Paul, unfortunately, has held the title for 390 days and has defended it once. So, tired of it, get the belt off him.
Yeah, I think this has actually been really good. This is pretty much another long story as well. LA Knight at anybody's house is money. Him being in Logan Paul's pool was fantastic. Just posted up in the pool inside the donut. Really good stuff. I thought Logan Paul actually had a really good promo with him on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. So I do think it is LA Knight's time because LA Knight hasn't gotten anything except that Slim Jim Battle Royal, but nobody cares about at this point. And Logan Paul's even like hammering down, like, look, you've done nothing. Like you've been nothing since you've been here at WWE. All you do is have a catchphrase for the most part. So what are you going to do? And so I'm looking forward to this match. And I do think LA Knight does win this match and finally gets validation and is the United States champion.
Look good. The belt's fortunately got real stale. Maybe that's the Hunter thing. Maybe Hunter really wanted the IC. He never held the U.S. title, and he wanted the IC and be back to prestige because U.S. title has meant so much more for a decade.
It's all for attention. Logan Paul, he takes that belt everywhere with him. He's getting all the notoriety.
Still, two defenses is a fucking joke. Forgot we can cuss in this thing, right? 2 defenses is a fucking joke. He should have been put it on. He had a King of the Ring match on SmackDown, was wearing USA gear. We'll see that in figure form. Nah, he should have been defending that title a couple times. He could have squashed people. Come on. Had him get, I know Cesaro was on SmackDown. He could have been just facing randoms, even if it was like for nothing. He should have. The last I saw, realistically, I was just exaggerating on numbers, but 2 defenses over 250 days. So he's going to drop it at like 275, 2 defenses. Come on, it's a joke. Where's Sergeant Slaughter? Where's Sergeant Slaughter? He would have never tolerated this.
Speaking of a title homage held, Intercontinental titles on the line. Sami Zayn defending against Braun Breaker. I can't wait. Braun Breaker's awesome. I can't wait. I'll just say Braun Breaker wins. Because Braun Breaker, even his promo said, like, I might not.
back. He's not going to lose twice. And then the crazy thing is, like, what does he do? Go break Gunther's record? Because who's going to beat him? He's a freaking monster.
Even his promo, he said, "I'm not a Steiner." Like this, I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, I'm not a Steiner right now, but I'm gonna beat your ass like a Steiner." Something along those lines. Awesome. Him just running around the ring with the spear. Awesome. Everything on Braun Breaker is awesome. And
you know what sucks about him?
What?
We'll never get a figure for him.
What?
Nah, I'm cool with the name. The figure, and I'm waiting for like the Jax like play on words. Like, what? We're never gonna get the singlet that says "badass."
Which one was that?
I think it was black with red letters. He wore it at NXT, and I think and his debut. He wore it a decent little bit.
Okay, because I know his next Elite. It has the it's in black and it has the wolf helmet.
Got it. Yeah, I'm figuring. I almost feel like there was a basic that is, but I feel like I didn't pay attention to words. But like I'm waiting for them to do like, you know, instead of the Jeff Jarrett Jax, don't piss me off, don't tick me off, or whatever the shirt said. Yeah, it would be a badass figure. Shout out Elite Collector 215. He did like 100 customs of them, so I'm sure he made a badass one.
Yeah, I'm sure. So speaking of, you said figures. So we had SDC. Well, actually, let me stop right there.
The full card?
Yes, the full card. But let me stop right there because I've not been watching a bunch of AEW. I heard
quick pause before we get to AEW, just because I did mention it. So I do just want to put it over. So this is 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and maybe 2020. I haven't watched the past 4 SmackDowns live, or SummerSlams. Sorry, the past 4 SummerSlams I have not watched live. I watched them either hours behind or the next day. And because overall the card hasn't been intriguing to me, between that, social life, other plans, I have been telling my non-wrestling fans like this week, what's the plan this weekend? I don't know, but Saturday I'm watching SummerSlam. I don't know if I'm watching Delaware. I don't know if I'm watching Philly. I don't know if I'm watching home. I'm watching SummerSlam. SummerSlam's, and I think you probably watched a few of them live, but I mean, I don't recall you being ecstatic about, you know, maybe the last 2 or one of the last 2. But you don't feel more excited for this card than the past couple of years?
No, not really. Like last year I caught it. Was it during? No, I'm trying to remember. Was it during the day last year? No, Money in the Bank, I believe, was during the day.
Yeah, I don't think any of the SummerSlams have had that.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. It was Money in the Bank that was actually during the day. Because I remember
I know for a fact the last 2 years I was at the bar while it happened.
Okay, yeah. So most of the time it's hard for me to catch this stuff live anymore because like I get home, you know, I'm with Angel and Leah, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll watch it when I watch it, so I'll either watch it in spurts throughout the week or whatever. I haven't really sat down and watched the SummerSlam live in a while, but I'm not more excited than anything. Like I think it's a really good card. I'm looking forward to it. You know,
you plan on watching this one live, right?
If I'm able to.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm able to, like I said with you about my schedule, we'll have to see where everything works out. But if everything goes accordingly, then I would love to watch it live. But it just hasn't been the cards to me a lot of the time. Yeah. It's been, I got to kind of spread it out throughout the week before we record or whatever like that. So I have not been watching a bunch of AEW. I did hear about Will Ospreay and MJF having the match of the year. I have not watched it yet. Sue me. The one thing I have seen is Britt Baker and Mercedes Mone in what some people might call a dream feud. I like the way Mercedes is being handled now because like now she kind of has a direction, and the inclusion of Camille now I think is really good. And I caught a clip of Bully Ray giving his thoughts on it. And he said, if I'm AEW, I'm not letting anybody put a hand on Mercedes with Camille around. Because that's just going to build her up, build both of them up even more. And I 100% agree with that statement. So, you know, like Britt Baker as a face, you know, a little left to be desired. Mercedes Mone is going to get a great match out of her, I think. And you kind of got to wonder, Britt's going to have to even the odds. And since it's all in, I'm not sure the status of Jamie Hayter. So maybe she can get some backup in the situation. But give me your thoughts on Mercedes Mone and Britt Baker.
I love Britt Baker. She didn't do nothing wrong in my eyes. Sasha Banks was awesome. Mercedes Mone is junk. Arguably the most overrated human all pro wrestling history. First off, come on, it's pro wrestling like 101. Like if you're gonna do a promo and you want to diss someone, at least know what you're saying. She did the San Diego Comic-Con panel and was dissing Britt, saying you'll never get close enough to you'll never get close to this title again. She's never held that title. She's never competed against it. What? And then I think she also called it the wrong name.
I didn't catch that.
Well, I did.
I know. I watched the promo. I just didn't catch that.
Look, rest in peace, Ron Passery, long gone. I know he was a huge Sasha Banks fan. I know you love her. Prep was a fan.
I like Sasha Banks. Mercedes Mone, I don't know.
CK and Joe Rodimer loved her. I thought she was good, but you know what? I was at the Tower Theater. Almost a decade ago. And they were saying Sasha's ratchet. They should start saying that to Mercedes because she's ratchet. She's overhyped. She doesn't wrestle enough. She's got too many belts. And she's going to pull Camille down because Camille's a star. But I look forward to Camille turning on her inevitably 6 months, whenever it happens, because it's going to be great. It won't be as great as another women's division, the other women's title, the main women's title on AEW. Britt Baker as a babyface, I'm here for it. Actually, I wore this because Wolfpack reminds me of her because she rocks a Wolfpack trucker hat.
So, moving on to SDCC, thoughts on the week on SDC weekend?
The weekend, I thought it was great. I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to retire, and they don't freaking make it easy. They don't make it easy. They got a lot of good product coming out. The Dudleys, I don't know if it's a ringside exclusive, but that Elite 2-pack, probably the highlight for me. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else ECW-esque. I don't know if it comes to your mind right away, but definitely some goodies.
Who the hell is this?
Glasses of the Summer.
Oh, I love that icon.
Licensed plumber. What?
Scent of the day. Oh, wait. Never mind. Wrong stream. Sorry. How you doing, guys?
What's
How
up,
are you?
bro?
Y'all are so handsome, man. I just wanted to come on here and
I
see
wear
y'all.
my sunglasses.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Tomorrow I'll be extra handsome.
After a haircut?
Yes, I will.
My barber's on vacation.
Yeah, he on vacation
next week.
Oh man,
Boy's looking tired, so
we know that.
Back on.
I bet you are tired. You got 9 kids.
Too many. Just to think, Eck was first. I was second.
This whole not looking
was
at the
third.
camera
I was fourth and fifth.
Absolutely. So, Prep, you got any thoughts on what's going on in the world of wrestling while we got you here? Before we know your eyes are actually closed?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to sleep.
What's your thoughts on SummerSlam card? Are you excited to watch the show? Are you watching it live?
I am going to watch it live. I am upset that I don't want the Punk. I don't need a special guest referee. I think that's lame.
I think you're lame, but continue.
But I hope they have a fun match. Who cares about the match? Right? It's the story, right? Nobody cares about the actual match. This isn't AEW. Nobody watches that anymore, right?
I mean, they're just gonna redo the '97 SummerSlam match. We were just going over this while you were figuring out where not to look.
I was backstage.
What's with you
waiting
not
for
looking
a-
at the camera? This is killing me.
He's a
Oh, so
star.
my screen is here, right here. So if I
It's
look
what
at
part
the
of the-
camera, then I can't
Part of
see
it,
you.
is it part of being a plumber?
Yeah.
It's a streamer thing. You wouldn't understand.
Damn right I won't.
Yeah. Preps heavy on TikTok, guys.
Oh my gosh. All right. This actually does hurt my head. No, so no, SummerSlam's cool. A lot of cool stuff going on. AEW, I was hoping something would happen tonight that didn't happen just because I was bored.
Wasn't a good show.
I was just following it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, waiting for like a fun notification to pop up.
Yeah. I'm on 2 weeks in a row.
But
now.
wait, let me not stop you. You were talking about SDCC and
Yo, we was trying to tag you in real quick before we switched to it. Oh, do you got something to talk about? San Diego Comic-Con?
I'm really upset. I'm hater number one over here that they're re-releasing that Punk figure.
Did you sell it before?
No, because it was a gift, so I'm not gonna sell it.
Okay.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, that was a gift, and it's autographed in a Sharpie. But
it is autographed.
Either way, first off, it's autographed. Forgot that part. Second off, it's the OG box, and it's no point to sell it. First off, because number one, it's getting plummeted value. You keep it for life. Plus, it's a gift. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the only shelf I haven't cleared off completely. I have weird odds and ends here and there, but in terms of figures, my Punk shelf didn't change. I got rid of the mock figures that isn't that one.
Yeah, because I got my wish, and basically like all my stuff, it was pretty much stuff that you would expect from a wish list. Ultimate Money in the Bank Punk of the Elite 15 or 16, whichever one it was. So that's coming.
No Best in the World shirt is a little tacky to me.
Well, we're not sure if it was, well, actually, you know what? They did show like a prototype, so we don't know if it's gonna have a shirt or not. So,
if they want to trick me last minute, I'll BQ.
Yeah, I would love a Best in the World shirt to come with it though. But yeah, like Ultimate Rhea, it's coming with a ring, which kind of like turned me off. But
Rhea and turn me off, same sentence.
The best figure
we also got
that wasn't Punk related was the Dudley Boys.
Do you say that's Punk related?
That wasn't Punk related.
Yeah. Yep, that was the first thing and only figure thing I mentioned. The Dudleys. Jeez, is this my phone?
That's me.
Doing the same shit. Yeah, the Dudleys definitely top tier, fire.
There you guys go.
Absolutely. That's me and Donovan right there. Look at that.
Jesus Christmas.
I'm passing. I'm waiting for 2001 Dudleys. Because these are my Dudleys. They're just not.
You could argue that
I just think they look cool.
Those are fire.
Those are 99. Because in 2000, that's when they switched.
Buy these, and that's the only figures you need. And they come with tables. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for. And I thought this was real creative. I don't need it, but this was actually really creative. I thought.
Yeah, it's creative.
They're getting real creative. They're getting real creative, but
I'm
it's just
so happy I'm retired.
It's not moving the needle for me.
The suit looks all. I mean, I know it's probably just a prototype. The suit looks really bad.
It ain't gonna get much better.
Right here we have an elite. Well, I guess this is gonna be top picks. I guess.
Imagine DM Sean's coming back. I can't sell mine now. Fuck my life.
I told you I'd get rid of that stuff early.
Hey, let's just be happy we indulged in the boom right during the pandemic. We made a lot.
We was there before the pandemic.
Oh no, he's saying the boom,
like money wise, the boom, the prices.
All right, this is something
we could have had that in the Ultimate if it wasn't for prep.
And me, I was part of the problem, but I'm fine with this as well. Like my Attitude Era shelf back there is kind of strange because I don't have a bunch of WCW guys, but this is a WCW guy that I would need. DDP. What else? What else do we get? We got some AEW stuff.
The proper
What was the highlight of the
Flying
AEW?
Brian, Hollywood Brian Pillman.
Yes, we got the Hollywood Blondes coming. Brian Pillman. This is what I was talking about a little while ago with the Braun. With the wolf mask. Who else we got here? Zoe Stark, Ilya Dragunov.
Is that hologram already? Didn't he just show up?
Well, this is what I was really excited for. Because I wanted a ruthless Carlito. We're going to get
that
him.
Perk Angle?
Yeah, that is Perk Angle. I am torn about this one. I know it'll go on sale, but I'm torn with it because it's like, do I really need a Perk Angle?
I do need a Perk Angle. That looks cool. I want it
I've
just
never
because
done
you
a
got the
perk, but I'll
mouthpiece.
get the figure.
I'm shocked you haven't. Also, the final boss, Rock, I thought was really good.
Graces.
Is that Thea Hale?
It is.
Big fan.
She's too young for you, bro. We got here.
Young. Oops.
I think she's like 2021. I got a final boss.
She
Rock.
can sit at the bar next to Broski, let him cook.
Final boss Rock. That's something I was interested in as well. I kind of wish it would give him the L that he was throwing up.
Oh my god!
To be accurate,
no, that wasn't really a thing. That was just fans looking too deep into it.
All right, there you go with that Brian Pillman from the Hollywood Blondes team.
Fire.
Hey, I have a picture with his son from the arena. Like he was just a fan and like taking a picture with him.
Michelle took one with him too.
Michelle.
He's crazy. Did she?
No, remember you went to the comedy club, and I said, dang, she macking on Pillman. All right, something else I was intrigued by too. Ultimate Damian Priest with the Senor Money in the Bank briefcase. I thought that was really cool as well. I thought that was cool. What else did they show off? They gave The Rock with his People's Championship, which I thought was real interesting. They showed that off because I don't have a bunch of highlights for me. We got an Ultimate Solo coming in here, just pretty much a 3D renders. I'm glad that we are getting an Ultimate Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, because the one that came out, his chest is way too big. From the 3-pack, his chest is huge. And I think this will probably be a little bit scaled down because it looks crazy. Like it looks like he just works on chest.
Is that Sandman?
Hack.
Oh, Hack. Why does he have abs?
If you squint
Look at that. Why is he so wide looking? Hey, can we talk about something real quick? Because we've lived so many lives in wrestling. And like the golden era for event going was All In, the original, remember?
Yep.
Do you remember when I picked the hotel?
I don't, because I was last.
Do you remember sitting at the bar and
the
now WWE champion walking up to you?
He didn't walk up to us.
Well, yes, he did. I'm pretty sure X shook his hand. Where were you at? Were you missing in action?
No, because
did you share a beer with? You're muted, Ek.
No wonder. I was talking for 10 minutes, and I was like, why are these cocksuckers not replying to me? My headphones died. So the audio is about to be all trash. But, yeah.
Nah, you're good on StreamYard.
All in 2018. Time to be alive. Imagine if you had that tattoo. You had to be there.
I'm still going to get it, I promise.
Yeah, because we got.
I ask you like every few months, like, hey, send me a picture of it so I can remember what it looks like.
You got 100 pictures of it. You was there taking pictures of me.
I just like seeing your leg.
Next to David Arquette and
Jesus.
freaking what was Shorty's name?
Remember trying to give the TMZ man pizza?
Blanchard. Remember what?
Trying to give TMZ man pizza. Damn, you were drunk.
Imagine that.
Of course he was. But I don't
You
remember
know what I
seeing
do
Cody.
remember? You know what I do remember?
Schomburg.
Fucking that old woman.
Oh my God. All right. Good night, everybody. I love y'all.
Good night.
Hey, love. Love
All right,
you
man.
guys.
What are you doing?
Aaliyah, beautiful. Beans is humongous. It makes me sad. But
Don't tell me you saw concert pictures.
what? No.
Did you just say Beans is so big?
Yeah.
She's at her first concert tonight.
Oh no. Who'd she go
Oh.
see?
Something Martinez. At least she
No
kept it in the
idea.
culture.
Right. At least she's there. Hey, I love you guys. You just have a great rest of the night. Like I always
You too, Prep.
I'm here.
Glad to have the elite.
All right, man.
Happy
Be
Yeah,
space
safe.
still
one
exists.
time.
You guys are killing it.
Prep,
So proud
circle
of
back
you.
to review the show. It's going to be the greatest Summerslam since Highway to Hell.
Watch my fragrance videos. Love you. Bye.
How you doing, man?
I smell good right now.
All right, babe. Got anything else for me?
Well, I bid you adieu.
Okay, all right, man. So I hope everybody enjoys SummerSlam. Make sure to thumbs this video up, subscribe, and turn your post notifications, and leave a review on all podcast platforms. Hope everybody enjoys SummerSlam again. For X2 Flyer, Eric Trembicki, I'm Alo Aaron Lloyd. We'll see you guys soon.